What's going on, everybody? So look, I'm just trying to give y'all a better idea of the gameplay here. Alright friends, there we go. Alright friends, look. We did a little detail. So now friends, we cleaned it earlier, now we're going to do a little bit of this wax. Right, friends, I'm gonna use this one for the wax. I'm just gonna do a little wax, see what it does. Maybe it'll shine it up a little bit. Wax on, wax off. There's a lot of dirt right here. I'm going in counterclockwise. I'm just kind of going over the whole play field, just seeing if I can get any of this grime out. You know, this is 40 years of grime in here. Friends, it's kind of like shining your boots if you were in the military. When we had to shine our boots, you know, a lot of the new soldiers just don't know, just don't know. Yeah. Shine it up. Found it, friends. There's the man's signature. DAV, right here, friends. The man, the child, the guy got caught with some naughty, friend. I mean, there's the signature, DAY. Horrible. So look, friends, I'm just trying to get a little bit of this polish in here, just to polish it. It's starting to come out a little bit. Here, a little there. And some of the place on this map you're not even going to see because there's a couple ramps that have to go on it. But I'm just, now that we have them off, they're drying in the other room. It'll look nice. When the lights are on it, I'm sure it'll. Oh yeah, that looks really nice. Board polishers. Look, friends, it came in the kit that we bought. Some debris. We're getting some of it off. Oh, this isn't really doing much, but who knows? Maybe it'll look nice when the lights are on. I really want to focus on the main piece here, the main board. I'm really excited about getting this thing working. Really, it's like a robot, you know, we gotta put the robot together. That's actually what the game is. Alright. Looks a little shinier. Just hit this big. Mad scientist. Doesn't do anything to the. Hold on, I do have some. Let's take these out. I do want to keep this though. Look, it's the gameplay. So we definitely want to hang on to that. Let's take these out. There we are. Right over there. Let's go see if I got any oh yeah, I got the rubbing compound. Oh, well, okay, I got it all over me now. Oh yeah, this is already shining up. Oh, wow, friends, look at this. Holy smokes, that looks nice. Yeah. I'm just gonna take it right off the floor because I need to clean it anyways. Not too much, just a little bit. Try to get all that. I don't want to take the paint off, but we're trying to get the what's it called? The anodized, where the air it actually changes the color of the aluminum. It's actually cleaning up pretty nice. I need to get some steel wool to get some of this rust off. Not too hard. I don't want to take the paint, but I told you. Let me see something here. It's okay there. Cool. Pitting. I got a little bit of pitting. I used to detail my Harley. When I first bought the first one I did it all the time. I would detail that Harley, and then I'd go out and get it all muddied up in the rain. But again, friends, it's like having a little bit of pride in your ownership, not perverted pride, not the evil pride. Okay, that's cleaned up just the hair. Now I know this will never look the day like it did when it came off the factory. That's not really the point, It's actually coming off. But it would be nice if we can clean it up a little bit. A lot of this stuff will just buff out. I need to get a razor and take that off. That's the play, how much it costs. And very, very, very carefully. Watch this. Now remember, I used to own a sign shop. Wow, look how shiny the aluminum is under here. Ooh, didn't have to use that. Alright, now we'll just take a little more of this. Just rub it out. Rubbing that down. That's the factory look underneath that, where that sticker was. I don't think we're going to be able to get that out. I certainly don't think we're going to do that. don't know. It's actually buffing out pretty nice. You know, for being 40 years old. Alright, we're not going to spend too much time on that, but you get the point. Good. Guess we could rub a little on the side. It's just the rubbing compound. Open up the logo a little bit. The cabinet was in pretty good shape, believe it or not. It's just something to do with the board. Something's going on with the board. Gottlieb. I guess it's German. Is this a German company? Yeah, like grime on the side of this thing. It's coming right off. Premier by Premier. Gobble gobble. I would have gone, personally, if I would have gone with a different design on the side of the cabinet, personally. Just looks boring. All right, everybody. All right, friends. We'll be back in a little while. Y'all stay groovy now. All right, action. All right, everybody, we're back. We went ahead and detailed the gameplay, the game area, the board, friends. Friends, we took all the little pieces out that we could, the plastic. And it had like mold or something on them. So we cleaned them with a little bit of hot water, a little dish soap we got in here. We changed some of the rubbers that we could. Look, friends, look at the detail in the artwork. I just love the artwork, you know? And we did. We found the man's initials right here. Friends, I told you, the guy's got a really horrible, perverted story. We don't want to get into it. But he was a very talented artist, the man that was commissioned to do the art on these things. So look, friends, we're just putting everything back together. We've kind of already laid it out, because I don't want no trouble, friends. Alright. Well... Alright, everybody. See, look, friends, we did all these pieces came out, even the back piece here. But now it's time for them to go back in. Alright, let's get our screws. There we go. Friends, I don't know what you call these little nuts, but they go on top of the ones here. Very carefully. I think they do. These. Oh my gosh, why is it not going on there? I know they came off. Give me a break. Why is this not working? Alright, let's see here. This has to be one here. Alright, we just need to use the wrench. Okay. Friends, you don't want to tighten it too tight because you could break the plastic, especially this older stuff. That stuff ain't even tightening down. And look, friends, it's a quarter screw, wood screw over here for the other ones. Okay, we got some wood screws on this one. 3. Alright. Friends, I tell you, this is very therapeutic putting these things back together. I mean, I hope one day we can get it to work the way it needs to. Wouldn't that be cool? We'll just keep taking our time. Got mosquitoes out here. Alright, not too tight. You go too tight on this, you'll crack the plastic. Alright, yeah, okay. Oh my goodness. Alright, yeah, that's how we do it, just like that. There, perfect. You gotta put it in the nut. Hopefully we'll have none left over. They'll all go where they need to. Yep. It only needs like 2 turns, and it's... Ooh, whoa, that was almost bad. Right there. Oh, that's kind of weird. Okay, well, yep. Looking good. Yeah, you just gotta use the tool. Cool. Alright, friends, I gotta go. My groceries are showing up, friends. I told you, you don't want to be out at the Walmarts if you don't need to, everybody. Not with all this civil unrest going on. Yeah, this is very nice. Alright, so we're just looking for all the ones that have the... We just want to make sure they're tight. We don't need things moving around. That one isn't getting tight. That's okay. Okay, a couple more. Yeah, 2 up here. Be careful not to lose these. They could fall down in the gameplay, and then it's going to be a nightmare. Tell you, friends, I'm gonna have to take an online course to learn all the circuitry, and then I'll just open a business restoring these things. Certainly, it can't be that complicated. But I don't know, friends. I don't know. All right, I got 1 left over. Okay. Uh-oh. Well, I think I'm missing one. Shucks, I'm missing one. Yeah. Maybe it already had this one on it. There we go. Okay, got those. Now we got to put the ramps back on it. So stick the screw, and then this metal rod, this is what supports it. And there should be a hole right here. Yep, hole. I'm just going to screw in that hole. I mean, friends, the attention to detail is what really draws me to these type of things. I just love it. So this screw goes underneath, and then the ramp. Wish I could have got that goop off. Oh, well, shucks. Hold on, let me get that rubbing compound. Let it come off a little bit. I don't know, it was like some kind of glue or something on here. Yeah, it's coming off. Didn't want to break it. Well, I don't know why, but the rubbing compound has the same smell as this dog shampoo I used to pepper my dogs years ago. It's funny, it smells the exact same. Alright, let's tighten this guy down. Again, friends, don't over tighten the plastic. If you do that, it's gonna break. Then these go right over this. Yep, just like that. Alright, yeah, we'll use the shiny ones for this. Oh, no. Yeah. These things go on it like this. And I need to get some new rubber. I need to buy the little tiny rubbers. I didn't have a wrench small enough, so I had to use these tiny little pliers, but they get the job done. Now, I don't know where these two go. I forgot, so we'll have to find out. Alright, this one's in there pretty good. Oh, these go here. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yep. Not too tight. Yeah, I'm sure these look cool when everything's all lit up and working. And my neighbors out doing PT, these people are in shape. Yeah, we're gonna get them screws over here. Alright, same thing with the other ramp. Screw goes through. Then we got the little sleeve, this little metal sleeve. There's a hole it screws into right here. Friends, wouldn't it be cool if someone would put together like a home-built pinball machine? Friends, would y'all buy it? If I had a kit, friends, I don't know, like say $3,000, I'd send you the whole kit. And all you gotta do is put it together, friends. Wouldn't that be cool? It'd be like a project, you know? You know, we'll have the game all working, and all you gotta do is just put it together. I think that'd be so much fun. Maybe we'll do that someday. Okay. Uh-oh, yeah, this thing's cracked. Oh, shucks. Oh, I was putting it in the wrong spot, my goodness. But it was already cracked. Alright, right about there. Okay. We'll use one of the rustier screws, because this one you're not going to see. Then we're going to put that little metal piece over it. Okay. Still got some more of this crud on here. Oh, they got crud on both sides. Maybe some Gooby Gone. I can get rid of it with some Gooby Gone. Then we're gonna put these things, little bumpers for the ramps. Oh wait, what am I doing? Here we are. Goodness, friends, I'm so sorry. I'm sneezing now. Ooh, oh, that was bad. Yeah, it's broken more. My goodness. You gotta be very careful, friends. I just broke a piece here. But I don't know. It might not affect anything. Very, very carefully. I want to be extra careful that I don't scratch or mar up the graphics on the gameplay. Alright, I think that's going to be... Try to get as far as you can by hand because it'll be a little easier. Okay, well, then they're pretty good. And then we gotta get the ones on the side over here. Oh, friends, that's right. This one goes there. It's okay. That'll be fine. I tell you, the plastic looks so much better after we cleaned it. It had like mold or something on it. Getting close. Now, friends, don't forget, we do Bible studies on the other channel, the Grizzly Army Ministries channel. So, friends, head over there tomorrow at 09 in the morning, Monday through Friday. We'll be doing Bible studies. I think we're going to be in the book of Matthew tomorrow. I think, friends. I don't know. I pray about it, and God kind of steers me through it. All right, we just got to undo this one. Oh, I got a screw left. That's not good. What screw are we missing? Oh, right here. I got it. All right, we got all the screws. They all went back where they... Cool. Alright, let's just do this, and then we'll be done with the top playfield, and then we can start working to put the, we're going to clean the motherboard and all the components. We're going to clean all the connections. And then we're going to hook our tester up and see if we can, do a little troubleshooting. You know, friends, I'm going to put the glass back in it because we're done. Well, we don't want to mess it up. I'll keep the glass where it's at. That way, if we need to change some light bulbs out or something. Alright, friends, well, there you go. So let's just double check everything. We'll make sure everything is don't need to be too tight. Why is that a little jiggly? Be fine. Alright, friends, well, y'all come on back. Later on, we're going to be putting the motherboard parts back in. So we'll talk to you later. Y'all stay groovy now. Grizzle 6 out. Alright, friends, hold on. What's going on? So look, friends, these are the circuit boards. And friends, we ordered a new... Friends, we're going to solder it in later, but this is the battery, friends. We got to solder this thing out. Shouldn't be too complicated, friends. And then we got some kind of memory capacitor, but someone said that you could do that. Look, friends, I'm just doing the very rudimentary of troubleshooting. I'm certain, friends, I'm certain something's bad in these boards. I'm certain something broke a long time ago, okay? But before I start dumping money and stuff, I'm just gonna do the basic, simple things. I'm gonna clean the contacts. I'm gonna clean the contacts over here, and I'm gonna put it back together. Friends, I don't know, maybe something will work. Because something seemed like it was trying to work when I was jiggling wire. So look, all I'm doing, I got some nice, got the electric cleaner. And friends, I don't know if I should be doing this. I'm using some sandpaper, and I'm just very, very, very carefully just removing some of the old, you know, the sediment on the contacts here. Because, friends, these things back in the 80s were very finicky, and, you know, they had to have a good contact or things didn't work. Just very lightly, friends, very lightly. And I'm watching a lot of corrosion come off. I mean, this is 40 years of, you know. Okay, perfect. Okay, yeah. I'm trying to clean it as I do it, just kind of clean it. Don't forget the other side. Look at this. This looks horrible. We're going to see if this works. I might have to wire the grounding wire, the mod. There's another mod where you can wire a ground wire to all the motherboards that'll help it ground out. It's a little better. Again, friends, this is just troubleshooting. I'm just trying to, before I dump a lot of money in this, we're gonna try the simple stuff first, and you know, it might work. Probably won't, but that's okay if it don't. So look, friends, we're going to have to test these later to find out if there's any capacitors or something that's not working. But one of the man, Mr. Todd, he says you got to make sure all these little things are super tight on here. I'm not even sure what they are. Guess they have to have a vacuum or something. Tighten this hair. Alright, so we cleaned all the contacts on this one, and they don't look too bad. Friends, all it is aluminum foil. It's very, very delicate. That's why you gotta be very careful when you do this. Now, I believe this is the soundboard. So it has the game loaded, the sound for the game, and it has a processor here for it. Now, this thing was it was blinking, so I know power was coming to it, and I have no idea. Soundboard, yep. I don't know what these two little buttons do, and there's like some buttons over here. But visually inspecting the board, I don't see anything concerning. Oh my goodness, look how filthy this is here. Oh, friends, I hope this isn't bad for the board, but it's electrical cleaner, right? my brush, friends. This thing's just covered in dirt. My goodness, no wonder this thing don't want to work. Good grief, that was just dust in there. This is just filthy. Friends, when boards get dust and stuff, they heat up and then they do fail. Man, this is filthy. Good grief, this thing is horrible. I'm certain this probably won't do anything, but it's making me feel better just cleaning it. But you never know, friends. I mean, this stuff's very finicky. It could work. We might need a new one. We might have to test some stuff. Friends, I believe these chips pop out, don't they? I don't want to break nothing. I think they do. I don't want to mess with nothing. They're seated in there. But we'd have to find a soundboard for the actual machine. That way it has all the right sounds loaded up on it. Oh, okay. Alright, well let's just very lightly clean the contacts here. Just wipe the residue off. Alright, which one's next? Okay, now this is the driver board. You got the soundboard, the computer, and I believe this one's the driver. We already did that one. Now this one's the reset board. This thing's filthy. I'm telling you, friends, this pinball machine, to me, it just looks like somebody bought it maybe in a restaurant and then it just sat in a warehouse for a long time. Because all this stuff is just dirty, like. And I don't see where like somebody like me had gotten into it and kind of, a shade tree pinball machine mechanic. Filthy. Well, at least it'll all be clean. Alright, now here is... Now we learned this goes to the reset board right there. And we're gonna solder this out later, probably after dinner time. But again, we've inspected this, and there's nothing visual that I can visually see. I don't see any burns. I don't see nothing like that. But again, I don't mean that something could have gone bad that we just don't know. But again, we're just doing the very basic troubleshooting. Oh yeah, look how filthy those pins are. I mean, good grief, friends. What if I just needed the pins cleaned and then $1,000 pinball machine? Well, friends, I ain't getting rid of these. I told you, it's part of the collection. Yeah, these are filthy. Oh, these are like black over here. But I also learned a lot of these old capacitors and stuff, they go bad. They dry up. There's like fluid inside them. Some of these capacitors have like fluid in them where they can store the electricity from what we're learning, and they dry up and then they don't work. And then the capacitor fails or something. Very lightly, friends, just very lightly. We're getting close. We're almost done. Friends, on the comment, there's burn marks inside the board. Like, you could tell it had a problem or two over its years. This one don't have nothing. It's perfectly clean in there. That's why I'm hoping it's just something simple like this. Something simple. It's almost like it just needs to be reset or something. Alright, friends, that's it. But there's one more piece that I wanted to take out. Alright, come on over here. We're going to take the power part out there and see what, we need to inspect this. I just want to take a look, inspect it. Okay, looks like it's in the wood. Alright, hold on here. I just want to visually take a look. This is the power supply, so if something's up with this. But to me it looks, I don't know, it looks new. Maybe it was replaced or something. Okay, there we go. Let's take a peek at this thing. Yeah, so Mr. Todd was talking, the TNT Amusement, he was talking about spray contact fluid in that and turn it to get it nice and lubricated. So friends, we're going to take this over here and get it cleaned up. I told you, friends, I'm a simple man. I'm going to do all my troubleshooting, and maybe we'll get this thing rolling with the minimal amount of aggravation and money. Hold on, friends. I don't know if you can hear my children in there. My goodness, they're certainly giving my wife a run for her money. Hold on now.
I gotta put something.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. Alright, just clean this. He did, he said you douse it down.
You're just recording, right?
Well, I'm doing a show, I'm trying to. Now I'm gonna have to edit all this out. That's fine. It's okay. Just trying to... I watched this guy's videos and I'm trying to see if it'll help me out here. But in his videos, everything that he said, I'm able to do. It's all right here. Alright, friends, now that thing's nice and clean. Let's just clean the contacts if we can, since we're here. Oh yeah, that looks nice. You need help? There we are. I mean, friends, over time, these connections they get like corroded, And this is one of the power supplies, the amp. He says it gets real hot, so that's probably why. But I don't know, I have no idea what this thing is, but it turns, and we turned it like he said in the video. I have no idea what that does. That's okay. Alright. Alright, now we're going to put everything back together. We'll put y'all right here. Alright, everybody, we're going to put this sucker back together now. Start the way we started. We're just gonna work our way backwards. We're gonna put the power supply. Look, everyone, we know that this little, whatever this lever is, it goes on the top. I'm gonna turn it all the way counterclockwise to the end and maybe see. Look, friends, look at here. There ain't no burn marks or nothing. There's nothing in here. Everything looks real clean. That's why I'm hoping it's just a connector. So this is the power supply. You know, to me this reminds me of an amp for like a radio or something in the car. Oh, this is gonna be difficult. Of course it is. Oh, friends, you know. Oh, for us guys, we got the dadgummit, yeah. We got the big man hands, you know, the big man fingers. And I need them. All right, let's see if I can do it like this. Oh, good grief! Come on now. All right, there we go. There we go. Maybe. So, friends, yeah, I turned 45 this year, and my fingers. It's like I don't have cartilage in them anymore. They don't work like they're supposed to. Oh my gosh, I just don't want to go on there. Hold on now. Let's just do it like this. I mean, just doing this is hurts. It hurts to do it, friends. And my fingers don't have the coordination that they once did. Oh my gosh. There we go. There's two. Maybe. Alright, there we are. There, now it'll be. Look, I hope I stick with this, you know. Just imagine if I learn how to work on these, like really learn. I think like a year from now, I'll be, you know, it'll be kind of funny going back and watching these videos. I'll be struggling. But it's okay, friends. It's a fun hobby. But look, you want to make sure that the little switch, the little dial is up on the top. That way you got your power hooked up the right way. I tell you, this one is completely different than the Williams in the other room. I don't know, I kind of like this setup a little better with the amp. I guess they need it for the ballast. This is a mini ballast right here, everybody. This is the ballast that runs the fluorescent light. And I used to work for a sign company many years ago, and I used to change out the ballast. So look, everybody, just double check it's tight. I'm sure my head's in the way, and I apologize. Alright, that thing's in there pretty tight. Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna do some simple tests with this thing real quickly. This is the power supply. I'm just gonna see if it has any connectivity with some of these. Oh, y'all can't see what I'm doing. Just give me a second here. Come on. Okay, that one works. I'm just checking some of these diodes on this. This is the power thing, friends. Look. I'm just putting one in on the other, and I got numbers coming up. So I guess that means it's doing what... I mean, if I had the schematics, I could... Oh, that one... I need the schematics, because the schematics will tell me if these things are working. And what values they need to be. But look, friends, I'm just... I mean, I'm getting numbers on here, so that tells me that this thing probably works. Now, friends, if I got nothing, then I would probably think the board would be fried. That must be other reason. Okay, well, I mean... So these are capacitors right here, friends. And those dry up over time. There's like, I guess, liquid inside them. But I'm going to see what kind of values I can get. I'm going to go on the bottom. Okay, well that one seems to... Got a reading from that one. Let's try this one. If I had the schematics, I'd know if the readings where they need to be. Alright, I got a reading there. Ooh, Ooh, is that my chicken? Oh, this one's not. I'm not getting a reading. This one might not be good. Well, maybe those are resistors. I don't know. Oh, I got a reading. Never mind. Okay. I don't know. This thing. I was getting readings on all of it. But look, friends, this one goes right here. So we'll see if we can just pop it back in. Actually, I'm not gonna pop them all the way in because I might have to take them all out again. So. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, friends, I'm certain we can hear the children screaming. It's all right. They're having a good Sunday. All right, look, we're just gonna spray a little contact in here. And we're gonna put it on, friends. We're gonna stick it on here. Again, friends, I'm not gonna. Uh-oh. I'm not gonna seed them all, not yet. That way, in case I gotta pop it off. This one's, this is filthy. Just a lot of dirt all over it. Alright, friends, we'll be back in just a little while. Y'all stay groovy now. So, friends, we're getting ready to start putting this stuff back together. Now, look, friends, I took my tester, and friends, I tested just about every capacitor that I could test on here, friends. And, you know, all these had the same values. And, friends, I don't have the schematics on me right now, but a lot of this seemed to be working. Now, I know I need to solder in. I got a new battery. But before we do that, we're just going to see if we can get this thing to fire up. So look, everybody, we're just going to put it back the way it was. And you know this one goes here because this one's going to be right next door to the reset. Now again, friends, I don't want to push them all in, not yet. But I don't want no issues. So look, we're just going to plug everything back. Uh-oh. Friends, again, this is why we take pictures. No fear, no fear. We'll take pictures. Yeah. Well, this one goes here. Yeah. Hold on now, hold on. Because this one goes to the display, so this one does go here. Huh. Why is that going on so hard? Oh my goodness. Okay. And friends, we'll go reference our I mean that looks just like it goes there. Alright everybody, we're gonna just quickly, friends, come over here, I'll show you what we're doing. Friends, again, I don't judge me, friends. Please have a little mercy, for goodness sakes. Look, friends, I don't know. I don't have the schematics with me. But what I'm trying to do, everybody, is I'm just trying to see if, friends, if I put this on here and I didn't get any readings at all, I would probably say that maybe the board's fried. But friends, if I get a couple readings, then maybe it ain't. Let's see, friends. Let's just see what we got. Can y'all see that? I'm just going to start up here and just see if we can get some readings. Okay. Now, if I had the schematics, it would tell me what... Oh, this one doesn't... See, now this one I'm not getting a reading from. Uh-oh. I got a reading on that one. See, friends, this is how I'm troubleshooting. The other board, everything worked, but now I got the one here, and I've got like a diode that... This one, I got 0.26. I don't know, friends. This board might be the problem. All right, friends, I believe these are called capacitors, and they got different colors for different readings. Or resistors, friends. I don't really particularly know. We'll find out later. Uh-oh. see, I think this board might be no. All right, I'm getting readings. But then, friends, this is all I did. I'm just trying to see if I can get a reading. It's just it's the continuality one, I believe. So it's sending a little bit of electricity through, and then the capacitor or whatever it's called, the diode, will only allow what it's supposed to. Here's another one I'm not getting a reading from. Friends, I think this board, this is the driver board. This one might have the problems. I believe they have some of these on eBay right now.
Mom, Dad.
Hold on, I'm doing something.
Try to spray me in the hair.
All right, I'll be right in there, boy.
Take it
No, I'm doing my video, please. All right, son, I'll be in a minute. Thank you now. Okay. See, I got some readings here. But friends, I need my schematics to tell me what the readings are supposed to be. But yeah, there's like a couple I'm not, like they're dead. Friends, I bet you this board's probably the one with the problems. Something looks weird here. Getting readings. Yeah, I don't know, friends. We'll throw it back in and see what it does. But there's a lot of things here that aren't giving me a reading. These are bigger. These are... There's a lot of stuff that is just giving me no reading at all. It almost tells me like something fried something on this board. Look, no reading. Strange, you know, I got reading on some things and Alright, well, that's just maybe how you hold it. Maybe it's okay. Alright, look, so we're just going to throw it in and see what it does. But I do want to see what happens here. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, so that seems to work. Alright. Alright, friends, we're going to toss it in. Come on over here. Oh, while we're here, friends, let's just check the soundboard. Let's just see if we got any readings here. Again, friends, I'm not claiming to understand what this stuff is. We're learning. All I know is that the setting that I got here, it'll tell you. It'll tell you when you run power through it. It'll tell you what the setting is. Oh, nothing, huh? This one might have some problems too. Huh? Soundboard. All right, let's just check. Let's just check some stuff here. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, can you all see? There you are. Let's see here. Okay, got something there. Okay, yeah. All right. Nothing. Okay. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm getting some stuff. I'm getting some readings. I guess that's good, right? Nothing. Oh, yeah, I got something there. Nothing here. Okay. 0.069, alright. See, the schematics would tell us what we're supposed to be looking at. I'm just trying to see if I can get any readings. I'm getting some. So I would imagine somebody that knows what they're doing, when I ask, pay someone to fix my pinball, they're going to go through the circuit board like this, but they're going to read a schematic and they could tell them exactly what JP7's value is supposed to be, right? All right, look, we're getting some readings. So look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to throw these things back in, and we're just going to see what the heck happens. If it fires up, cool. If not, then, well, we'll go get the schematics and we'll start doing the troubleshooting that way. All right, everybody. So this is a sound card. This one goes up here. Wait a second. No, I thought it went that way. Hold on. This is weird. How's that? Maybe it was this way. Oh, yeah, I guess it did go. Please, please, don't break, don't break. Yeah, it did go. It went this way. Wow. Alright, please. Okay. Alright. One more, and then we're gonna see if this sucker fires up. Now, friends, I'm certain it's not gonna work, but it's worth the shot. It's definitely worth the shot. All right, this goes this way, and then, friends, I'll go get the schematics, and we'll start doing the testing. And that'll take a little while. I understand why these pinball guys charge so much money. This stuff. I mean, how many people need a pinball mechanic, Probably not that many. So I would charge a lot of money too. All right, friends, we got to get the jumper. But before we do the jumper, we have to add another wire to it. This will be very quick. Tim from TNT Amusement, well, he showed me how to do this. Look, friends, we got to add one more wire. Hopefully this will work. Oh, goodness. All right, hold on, everyone. There it is. There it is. Yeah, it's almost the perfect length, too. Listen, friends, you can literally find just about anything. You can find almost anything on YouTube. The reason I got confident that I could even mess with these was because of some videos on YouTube I started watching. It's not a cockiness, it's just confidence. It's a little different. You're humble enough to know that you can't do it on your own and you need to ask someone for help. Okay, let's see here. Oh, come on. Oh, there we are. There we go. So there we go, friends. We got they forgot. Apparently, they forgot at the factory to put an extra ground, so we got to do it like this. So then, friends, it only goes on one way. So you got the smaller portion on the top, so it's gonna go like. Oh, hold on here. Yeah, it's gonna go like this. Uh-oh. Careful, careful. Now, friends, we don't have it all secure, and I hate the standoffs. I wish they had the screws. I told you, they just made these just a little, maybe they had not as big of a budget as maybe they had less of a budget than the Williams. All right, friends, we're gonna do we're gonna clean our workstation up. Hold on, friends. We must clean our workstation. Here. All right. Almost there. Clean workstation. We love the clean workstations. Now, friends, I got my multimeter too. We gotta learn. All right, I'm about to turn it on to see if I fixed anything. If you hear me scream, call 911. I'm gonna put this over here. Oh, I shouldn't have. All right, babe, love you. All right, let's see if I can get some readings here. This is the display. All right, I got readings. This is a capacitor. Okay, I got readings. Now, friends, I don't have the schematics to know what I'm supposed to be reading, but I'm getting something. So that's better than nothing, I would say. This thing seems to work. I mean, I got numbers all over the board. Hold on here. Numbers here. Okay, I got numbers there. Yeah, I got numbers. All right. So this is the display that we're hooking up here now. And I already cleaned these contacts the other day, so let me just see here. To me, it seems like the motherboard, something's preventing the power from going to all the other boards, and it could be the ground. It could be a lot of things. Come on, there we are. All right. All right, let me just double check everything, and we're gonna turn it on. That's on. These are connected. These are in. That's in. Oh, yeah. See, look. Glad I checked. We cleaned these, and then we're gonna turn that little screw, or whatever that little thing is. We're gonna turn it here in a minute. Ballast. This is the tiny ballast that runs the bulb here. Put everything in. I used to have to change these out. This is the ballast that runs the lamp here. Got everything tight. These are tighten. This is the power right here. So this is, I told you, it's a lot different. So my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, everybody. You got this is the computer part here that runs the game. This is the reset switch. This is the driver board. This is the sound board, and this is the power. So yeah, the power is coming from the bottom up into here, and then it goes off over to here. Oh, down to here, friends. So I don't know. Look, we're gonna fire it up and see what happens. All right. And hopefully it don't explode. Oh, give me a break. Okay, let's plug it in and see what happens. The next thing we're going to try, friends, is we're going to do the grounding on the boards. Hold on now. Let's get you off the play field. So again, I'm going to give y'all a quick recap of what we did today. So check it out, everybody. It's your Sergeant Major Grizzle Grits. I told you, we're out in the workshop, everyone. Now look, we've been busy today, friends. I know it's Sunday, friends, and I feel horrible. We didn't even go to church. I'm going to certainly have to do some Bible reading tonight, friends. I got my Bible study in the morning. Friends, you need to come by. You're definitely going to learn a lot. I know I certainly am. But check it out, everyone. Today, we detailed the playfield, friends. We took all the little parts off. Not all of them, but we took many of them off. We cleaned them real good, friends. There was like a mold or something on the plastic, and we got that all squared away. Friends, we reinstalled some new rubbers. Some of the rubber bumpers, friends. Hold on, let me zoom in here so y'all can see. Oh yeah, friends, check this out. Friends, some of them rubber bumpers in there, we got those installed. What a beautiful playfield, huh, friends? I told you. We're gonna get this thing running. But we did the detail. We polished it, friends. We used the polish, and we got it all polished. And believe it or not, the Comet, the other pinball in the office, well, friends, that one had some pretty decent rubbers on it. So we took the rubbers from the Comet, and we stuck them on here, friends, because the Comet got the brand new ones. So look, friends, not only did we do that, and we put it all back together, friends. We cleaned, put it back together, did a nice polished job. Friends, we took all the hardware out, and I cleaned all the contacts. I took some sandpaper, very, very finely, I sanded it, friends. I didn't want to take too much, but there was a lot of corrosion. I just want to make sure the goal of what I'm trying to do is called the process of elimination. Before I go dump some money in this thing, and friends, I only got $1,000 in it. Plus, a half a day travel to the other side of the coast, friends. And that was only half a tank. Friends, believe it or not, it only cost me about a tank of gas. And Mr. Trump's got it back down to like $55 a tank of gas, friends. So it was a win-win for everybody. So friends, I only got about $1,000 tied up in this right now. So friends, I'm gonna do some troubleshooting. And we cleaned all the contacts, friends, and it was pretty dirty. And friends, I did some continuality tests, or whatever it's called, friends, with the little reader. And friends, I'm getting readings. I don't have the schematics to know what the exact readings I need, but I'm getting something, friends. So look, we're gonna try to turn it on and see what it does. Now, I'm certain it's gonna be just the way it was before. And friends, that's okay, because then I'm gonna have to go do a little more research. And then we're gonna find out which board needs to be replaced, friends. And they do sell them. It just costs, like $175, and we're just kind of a little broke right now. So look, friends, we're gonna flip this thing on and see what the heck it does. Oh, Corporal Stevens, where's that fire extinguisher? All right, friends, I told you, friends, I don't want no issues. I don't want no issues, friends. But friends, we just hooked it up the way it was, so we'll see what happens here. Okay, close that. Alrighty, let's see what happens. Can everybody see? All right, friends, here we go. Uh-oh, which way does this go? Well, I got a solid red light. Watch, friends. It does work just a little bit. Watch. Friends, it ejected the ball. Did y'all see that? It ejected the ball. Hold on. See, it works a little bit, friends. But we got to get working the way it needs to. I don't even have any sound. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Friends, something's up with the soundboard. Look, friends, there's that little... I don't want to be electrocuted. Friends, I got a solid red light, so that's telling me something on this board is probably not working. Hold on, friends, let's see if there's a volume, but I'm certain that it's not. I got it up all the way. So friends, we got an issue, it's a project, so. Friends, I got something smoking under here. That is horrible. What in the world? Oh, no. Friends, I wasn't kidding about the fire extinguisher. My goodness, what in the world was that? Holy crap. Friends, I got something crackling over here. something's going on. Unplug this thing. Friends, I don't know what the heck all this was, but something's like crackling over here. And I saw some smoke right under here. Something. What in the world? Right under here. What in the world was that? Ah, it's a solenoid, friends. A solenoid looks like it's gone bad. It's okay. Yeah, that thing is hot. Holy smokes. Friends, come over here. This stuff we just had a solenoid go bad. I'd rather it do it now, friends. Look at that. Friends, that thing is very, very, very hot. Oh well, friends, I told you it's a project for the last nick of time, you know. You win some and you lose some. So look, everybody, that's gonna do it. I'm gonna go there and eat some dinner, friends. Friends, I'm gonna go there and cry for a little while, because now, I don't know, the solenoid's heating up, friends, and I certainly have no idea. I just don't know, friends, this thing. You know, these things are old, and they need a little love until TLC. So look, friends, we'll talk to you later on in the next episode, friends. The next episode of the Pinball Time Machine, friends. Friends, look, I need you to subscribe. I know you're digging it, friends. And friends, check back anytime. You know, one of these might just catch on fire. It'd be like a train wreck, and I know some of y'all really like that stuff. But friends, I'm gonna talk to y'all later. I'm gonna get back and find out why this thing is warming up, friends. So friends, y'all stay groovy, and I'll talk to you soon. Grizzle 6 out.